Okay guys, we are back in DC, and of course we're back at Rothland's. Crispy, crunchy, yummy. Took a little day off. My kid is now successfully at college, but DC continues to be DC. So we're gonna go out for a little walk after we have breakfast here and see what's going on. Okay guys, we have finished our delicious lunch of pulled chicken and fries, and now we're on a bike. It has been a miserable 24 hours in DC with rain and drizzle, and like last night we even had lightning. Lightning struck an apartment building next to mine and lit a air conditioner unit on fire. And let me show you that video I filmed from last night. Hey guys, we're on scene of an explosion call, 3725 Macomb. Trying to see what's going on. Probably weather related. I heard it, it was loud as heck. Originally called it the Giant, but there's nothing going on there. Okay, we're on scene on Macomb Street. It smells like a transformer blew. A lot of electrical smell. So, some sort of explosion. It smells like a transformer. It's pouring down rain, so I mean water gets into the transformer kind of things, and they go poof every now and then. I'm not sure that's what it is. Let's go see what else we can photograph. So that was a relatively minor fire. A lot of smoke was put out on the 5th floor. Nobody was injured. Nobody was forced to move from their premises. Fire department knocked down the fire quickly. We are now in Georgetown, and we're just out for a bike ride. The Walz is in town. Governor Walz is in town doing a campaign stop in McLean and a campaign stop in Bethesda. Now, both are pretty blue areas, so it's more about raising money, I think. Later tonight, Donald Trump is coming to, I think, the JW Marriott. I got to check that. I did not get credentials because, well, I've been away all week. But we might be outside and see a motorcade or something. Maybe he'll wave. We'll go down there. Let's head down to the White House, see what's new, and go over there and see if they're prepping for his arrival. So we're in the Georgetown neighborhood up on R Street. R is in Robert. And it's a nice, gentle downhill. Just gotta make our way down. It is still misting, sprinkling kinda. So every now and then I get a little bit of rain coming off the trees and mist in my face. Now, who do we have famous down here on Avon Place? Oh yeah, I remember. So you're not going to live on this street for under $1.5 million, and these bigger places are going to be $2 or $3 million easily. The standalones certainly are $2 million. Then there's this one house here that's way up there. I think like $10 million or something, because it's got this huge estate of land in front of it. This was Bill Donovan's house, the former head of the OSS, the precursor to the CRA, but then he sold it to the Graham family. And this was Katharine Graham's house, the Washington Post publisher. So this is the social circuit in the late 70s and 80s and 90s. Katharine Graham held court over the socialites in Washington, D.C. from this property right here. She had some interesting neighbors. Let's go down here and see who's around. Because I think former CIA director William Colby used to live right over here on the left. Yeah, I think it's this yellow house. It used to be the CIA director's house. And he was like the neighbor of Katharine Graham. I don't know if she ever went to the parties. And this is an alley. Let's go see what's down this alley. Yeah? There's too many cars that way, so we'll cut down this alley. Alleys are actually public property in the District of Columbia public roads. The city is responsible for maintaining them. They maintain this one with bricks. It looks like this one's actually just been repaved. Some nice big old houses back here. All right, let's slide over this way. We'll go down here to, what is this, Q, I believe. It's wet, the brakes are slippery. I'm not exactly comfortable going down this big hill at full speed, especially with a camera in one of my hands. Now down to my right is the house of Bob Woodward of the Washington Post, but we're gonna go left, skip his house for now. He's the investigations editor or editor emeritus or something like that at the Post. You remember him from Woodward and Bernstein, All the President's Men, and The Tale of Watergate. He lives on this street. Let's go down a couple more blocks and see what we can see. All right, 27th Q. Oh, we haven't taken you back here in a bit. We'll go back here. So back in here at 27th and Q in this little park is actually a cemetery, all right? Now, it's not like the fancy cemeteries that are in Georgetown. This was an African-American slave cemetery, all right? So this is where people back in the 1800s would bury their slaves. This was going to be redeveloped, but local historians and archaeologists insisted that it be saved. And there's a private organization that is doing their best to restore some of the graves and try to find out more about the people who are actually buried here, though there is very little record of many of the people that are buried here. Down up ahead, there's by those stairs. Let me get rid of this bike. There's a vault that was used, I don't know, it's where they kept the caskets before they buried them, and that was a stop on the Underground Railroad. As they were slaves were moving to the north, they would hide over there because nobody was going to search that place. All right, let's go over here. Is it this tree? Yeah. That's a weird-ass suitcase. Some homeless person, probably. Here it is, yeah. So over here is a tombstone for a little girl named Nanny, born in 1848, and she died in 1856. And every year on her birthday, residents come and leave little gifts for her. Little toys are left for baby Nanny, who died at age 8 and is buried in this area. No more is known about this poor little girl, other than she had some ailment or affliction that caused her early death. But people still remember her with gifts. So yeah, a lot of these tombstones no longer reside over the caskets. They've been moved around, knocked over. Like I said, this wasn't very well maintained, but now there's a private nonprofit that is trying to restore this area, trying to locate any lost tombstones that might be under, a few inches of dirt, without, of course, disturbing the graves that are beneath here. 1878, 1899, 1895. Much of this has been lost to acid rain and erosion. You can't even read some of these. It's a shame. Harriet Waynes, born 1876, died 1919. There's another collection of stone markers over here. So yeah, this is just sort of hidden off the beaten path of Georgetown. It's worth noting Georgetown was once a predominantly African-American neighborhood. It wasn't until like the 50s or so that they started to gentrify it. One of the early gentrifiers was John F. Kennedy and his clan. They were over here. So you'll see in Georgetown, still there are some historical remnants of the times when African Americans predominated, mostly notable in the churches. There are several African American, like Baptist churches here in Georgetown that have been here for a century. And even though the parishioners no longer live in Georgetown, they do come back because that's been the family church for generations of Americans who grew up in the DC area. All right, let's slide out of here and head back into Georgetown a bit. Well, we're in Georgetown, but head down the main part of the commercial district. Okay, we're now heading down into the East Village of Georgetown. You guys are pretty familiar with this because I park my car here a lot. I can park here more or less all day, and then I get a bike and I ride somewhere else. Let's swing over here to this church, because as I was just mentioning, there are a number of African American churches in Georgetown. I believe this is one of them. Yeah. So this is the First Baptist Church located here in Georgetown. It's a historic property. And down here you can see a photo established in 1862 by a former slave, Reverend Sandy Alexander, and had another preacher from Fredericksburg, and they were holding meetings in private homes, and then they decided to start having a Baptist church on this spot. It's a photo from the 1930s of the parishioners here. And, well, it's still an active church, I believe. Still has people on the weekends come by. Oh. Now, I want to point something out, because I get a lot of messages about this. You see this stop sign here? You see me stopping? No, I don't have to stop. You see, DC law allows what's called Idaho stops. I can treat the stop sign as a yield sign. And as long as there's no traffic that has the right of way, well, I don't have to stop. They've done studies, and the Idaho stop, or I think it's also called the California roll, is safer for bicycles because they're not stopped at the intersection where they're more likely to get hit by cars. They rely on the bicyclist's judgment as to whether it is safe to go or not. Those two dudes look interesting. There's a VIP who lives there. Those guys dress the way all other security personnel in DC dress when they're trying to appear like non-uniformed, but they all look the same. All right, here's some fire trucks. Let's see what we got going on down here. Should be engine 1 or engine 23 down in this neighborhood. We can call up the fire calls and see if there's anything big. There he is. Oh, it's the truck. Probably somebody stuck in an elevator. Unless we get a bunch more sirens, then we've got like a fire. There they are. Oh, wow. It's the State Department. All right, we got to report a smoke down at the State Department. Let's go check this out, yeah? Pretty hefty response. We got a green light too. Now, a building like the State Department has smoke alarms, police, sprinklers, the whole 9 yards. So if it was an actual fire, it would probably have been detected. It's probably just some like elevator belt or air compressor or something doing something odd. But we'll go check it out. Oh, you know what it could be? If it's on Navy Hill, which is up on the right here, that could be like the CIA's offices. Oh, what's this? Oh, this is a battalion chief. You know what? I think this is an apartment building. Tower 3 is here. That is the White House ladder truck. First due at the White House, the first tower due at the White House is Tower 3. It's also on call for all major fires in DC. It deploys citywide. You can see it's got a presidential seal on the back of it, meaning that it's the truck that goes into the White House. And it looks like they're releasing some, truck 9. All right. Or he's just redeploying. This is the Foggy Bottom truck, engine 23, which is just nearby. They're gonna have to close this road because they got hoses across it. Let's get over this hose before they turn the water on. And it looks like they're clearing now. Okay, that's a Shakespearean fire call. Much ado about nothing. They've cleared all the other units, just the initial two. What they call the one-in-one situation. One engine, one truck will stay and close out the scene, but all the other fire trucks are going to get to go home as soon as they roll up their hoses and pack up. You see Tower 3 is already lifted up in the front. It's got its, in case it had to go up. All right, let's head over and find what's going on with Donald Trump. Let's see which hotel he's at. Should be down over this way. I'm not sure what time he's going to come in. I'm going to have to chat with some of my friends who track this more heavily than I do. Oh, by the way, we're at campus of George Washington University now. And yeah, there's students back. Life has returned to GW. These are some of the frat houses down here. We had one protest so far this year. They protest out front of the president's house so far this school year. Of course, we had lots of protests last spring. Everybody's wondering if it's going to start up again. But as it is a Friday before a holiday, I think a lot of people are just going to like skip out and have a 3-day weekend. This is like racing this bus. Oh, he's turning. So all the buildings on my left are university buildings, and the buildings on my right are like dorms or private dorms. And the building straight ahead, that becomes the World Bank and the government again. Okay, guys, we're down by the Eisenhower building, the EEOB, at the White House. We're gonna just swing across Pennsylvania Avenue. Biden's still away. Now I'm hearing he's going to be away for Tuesday or something. I'm not sure where he's going to be for Labor Day. He'll probably do some union thing. Not sure when he'll get back. The Secret Service parking lot continues, despite assurances it wouldn't. And things are relatively quiet down here on a Friday. I think most of the press pool is out in Rehoboth, Delaware, with him. And they're going to follow him wherever he goes for Labor Day. Pretty ordinary truth conductors here. The guy who always protests everything is here. No Jehovah's Witnesses. Pretty chill. Oh, he's playing God Save the Queen today. All right, it's a little random. Not much going on up there. We got a flags up on the White House for the holiday. Pretty normal. All right, let's go check out the JW Marriott, which is down here, because I think that's where Trump's going to be later today. The Moms for Liberty convention is there. Maybe there'll be some protesters yelling at people going in or out. Who knows? Let's go check it out. Not even a food truck. It's a food ice cream thing. Boba tea in a trailer. Yeah, that sounds healthy. Let's cut over here towards the JW, past the Willard Hotel, past the World War I Memorial, which should get its unveiling soon. The statue itself has been, well, some of it's been installed. They just haven't pulled the blue tarp down. You can see some of it. It's pretty impressive. This brownish building back there, that's the JW Marriott, and I must say, I don't see anything that looks like a VIP is coming here later. Maybe they were talking about the Hilton. That's where most of these events are. Let me double check. See where this thing's going on. Okay, guys, it does look like this is the place, and I have just noted that there is a tad bit of extra security, including the ubiquitous white minivans of the Secret Service by the loading dock, which is where, well, the VIPs will roll in more than likely. There's the loading dock, and there's the Secret Service. So looks like they're going to be here, but he's not coming until later tonight. So we're not going to stick around for now. Maybe we'll see him later as he arrives. We'll have to track his aircraft. He's up in Pennsylvania right now. So where to? Let's go back over this way, yeah? This is the back of the Willard Hotel, by the way. It's really pretty building. This is like the office building section of the Willard. This is the Hotel Washington down here. It has a great roof deck. Probably one of the best roof deck bars in Washington on top of the Hotel Washington. Great view of the monuments and stuff, especially if there's a helicopter landing. All right, let's slide up this way. A lot of speculation the next Marine One. All right, there is a lot of speculation the next Marine One landing could be the VH-92. That would be cool. We will see early this week. We're going to be going to any helicopter operation that we can until the VH-92 lands at the White House. That's going to be fun. We'll cut back across. Wow, the clouds got a lot darker that direction. See that? Ominous. Okay, let's cut through Lafayette Park and let's cut back up maybe through DuPont Circle or something. Do something different. So we're out in Lafayette Park now, just riding around. This is the restroom / National Park Service mini office that was burned and gutted during the George Floyd riots. It's been, I don't know if it's reopened yet. Maybe. It looks like, I mean, it's been finished. They're done with the construction. It only took like a couple years. And of course is the White House. Let's go up this way, yeah? This is the Hay Adams Hotel. It's very posh. Jimmy Carter's a big fan of the Hay Adams. Whenever he would come back to DC, he would stay at the Hay Adams. So we're going to slide through this little park here. This is Farragut Square. This is technically a national park. It's one of about 100 or more little squares and circles that are under the jurisdiction of the National Park Service, which means they're under the police protection of the U.S. Park Police, not Metropolitan Police. So someone arrested here would be done by the Park Police. Someone arrested on the sidewalk or the street, they'd be arrested by Metropolitan Police, which can cause some confusion sometimes. This is Connecticut Avenue, which no sane person would ride a bike up, but we're going to do it for a while until we can get on the sidewalk and get safe. Okay, now we're in DuPont Circle, which is another one of those little federal parks in the middle of the city. And this place, well, it can have fun people having picnics, it can have old ladies watching the grandkids, people playing chess. It can also have a bunch of homeless people shooting up, causing crimes, or just suffering other urban ills. It's kind of a mix, that park. I'd never walk through that park barefoot, to say the least. We've got a red light. Okay, we're going to cut over here on, don't even know what it is, we're in Florida, and I think R is in Robert Street. And just up here on the right, this white building with the next to the American flag, this is the Embassy of Mali, the African country of Mali. However, this home was actually Franklin Delano Roosevelt's home from 1916 to 1920. He was Assistant Secretary of the Navy. FDR lived there in the Mali Embassy, today Mali Embassy. All right, that's the Embassy of Cyprus. This is the Embassy of, oh, it's the Miramar Ambassador's Place. This is the Kenyan Embassy, and then the Vietnamese Embassy, and then the Filipino Ambassador's house here. And he's next to the Egyptian Ambassador's house, and that's because we're back on Embassy Row. Pretty much all the buildings along the street are diplomatic posts. This is Embassy of Chile, Embassy of Haiti, former Embassy of Pakistan, now vacant. And who else we got? Embassy of Croatia. And they're next to the Embassy of Cameroon. Then we jaunt a little to the right here. We can see the Ambassador of the Netherlands. He's in that big house right there you're looking at. And then the Embassy of Chad over here. There. All right, let's just make our way up this road. Okay, guys. We are back up at the National Cathedral on a quiet Friday. Just not a lot going on in DC today. Next week, everybody comes back. I think the Congress comes back after Labor Day. Maybe not. Biden and Harris will be around. Maybe we'll find them campaigning. Trump, he'll probably pop in too. He's been here. He's been here like every week the last 2 weeks. So guys, thanks a lot for watching today. I know it's not that interesting, but you know, some days are like that. I will see you again very soon. Maybe this weekend as conditions warrant, and certainly next week. Bye for now.